Welcome to This Just In with This Just In as your host, Justin Core. This is a show where we take a deeper dive into the stories most important to you with the people who bring you those stories. Our returning correspondent today, the one and only Maggie O'Mara, my co-anchor on Wake Up Idaho.
Hi, everyone.
Every morning, and your news mom, Idaho's news mom.
Yeah. Do I qualify? I guess.
I call you that all the time.
I know.
Does it bother you?
No, I mean,
Okay.
I am a mom.
You are a mom.
I'm a proud mom. I have 5 kids. I mean, it's all good.
You might say that you're also the proud mom of nearly 2 million people in the state of Idaho.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, I don't know if I qualify for that.
Well,
that's putting the pressure on this
I don't
morning.
know.
But
People-
I'm happy to be here with you on This Just In, and I will be the news mom.
Appreciate it. Thank you. People go to you for comfort, for direction, guidance, to know what's going on. Sounds pretty mom-like. You were also a literal mom. 5 wonderful kids. How they
Yes.
doing right now?
They're doing great. I mean,
Yeah.
they're back in school. They're enjoying their friends. They're
Yes.
playing sports. They're busy as all get out, and I am a chauffeur. I am a full-time chauffeur. I'm sure a lot of moms out there can relate to that.
Yes.
Just constantly in the car. I spend my entire afternoon and dinner time in the car.
driving.
We either eat at like 3:30 or at 10. It just feels like we're
that-
constantly shuffling kids to sports practices, and I am a great chauffeur.
Do your kids give you 5 stars on the app? They're like,
no.
great
Well,
job.
They
great
should.
job.
They
5
should
stars.
do that.
So, and like I'll tell you, I only have 2 kids, but yeah, when they're able to drive themselves, it's a huge game changer.
Oh, yeah.
At the same time, though, then the worry and the anxiety
I know. Then you're
goes
worried
up.
about them driving. So, I mean,
Yes.
there's no way to win. Either you drive them
Yes.
yourself or you worry about them driving. One or the other.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And I mean, you can talk for yourself about this, but it starts with just like you in the passenger seat driving around the neighborhood trying to teach them how to drive. Oh my gosh,
See, I'm
Maggie.
not there yet.
I've never been more scared
I know.
for my life or theirs,
I
where
know.
it's like this. I remember when this kid was a baby,
I know.
and now they're behind the wheel of this 1-ton
Of a deadly vehicle?
Yes.
I know. I do have a teenager who is ready to take driver's ed, but I am insisting that he take the steps to take the courses, and he has not
Nice.
done that yet.
Oh.
So I'm like, I'm good with that. One less car insurance payment, one less car payment, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, the longer he puts it off, the longer, he's getting
Yeah.
rides. I pick him up.
Yes.
I'm fine with it. When he's ready, he'll do it.
Yeah. I remember I learned to drive, like out in the fields and on the country roads in and around Cuna.
In a tractor, right?
Well, it was an old farm truck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where, I mean, didn't worry if I wrecked it. There was already a hole in the bottom of it. But it's like those fields and those country roads don't exist anymore.
No,
They're
they
subdivisions
don't.
now.
Now we're on the big roads.
So when my kids were playing sports, I would just be a ball of nerves on the
Yes.
sidelines.
am.
How you do? Okay,
Oh,
same.
I am. So all 4 of my boys are currently playing football. So I have 4 boys playing football. So every week I have those
Whoa.
games. And then I have a daughter who cheers. So we are constantly at games. And I have to pace. Justin knows this about me. I don't like to sit in the stands because I need to move. I'm sure
Yes.
a lot of you parents out there
Yes.
feel the same way. I need to move around. I need to walk back and forth. I need to take a break. I need to go get some water. I'm not even playing, but I need to do those things. And I'm sure a lot of parents out there can relate. I can't sit crammed in with other people. I have to have some space.
Yeah, because you are playing though, like sort of through
Emotionally, you're
your
playing,
right?
right?
It's the same thing teaching them how to drive. It's like you feel
Yeah.
like you're behind the wheel and you want to like grab the wheel and help them, or
Yes.
like hit the brake even though it's not there on
Yeah.
the passenger
I know.
side.
Isn't
yeah,
that crazy?
The same thing watching them play football or cheer, whatever else. It's like, oh, I want to be able to, but I can't. But I need
know.
to. Yeah.
I know. It's tough. I get
It's
really
tough.
anxious. I get anxious before the game. I get anxious during the game. I am really relieved after the game when we come home with a win. And so, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. This is what being a sports parent is.
Yeah.
I was not prepared for it. I've learned to adjust to it over time. But these are not things you think about when you have a newborn.
Yeah.
One day,
One day
I'll be,
this is
in the
gonna happen.
end zone panicking for the entire game. No.
and
yeah.
and there'll be other like 250, 300-pound boys trying to push
Take
my
down
kid to the
my
ground.
boy.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not as worried about my boy. I'm worried about other
No.
people that that he might take down since he is an offensive lineman.
Cash.
He's got it covered.
Normally one of the biggest people on the field. Absolutely. Well, to your other job now, and
Yes.
speaking about anxiety, it was a really an emotional week for us last week. A lot of sad news, a lot of tough news, a lot of terrible news, and people might wonder, wow, how do you keep that from affecting you? And we talk about it all the time. Like, it does affect us.
It does. It certainly affects us. I think people don't realize sometimes that we are real people with families and friends, and we definitely feel everything that everyone at home is feeling.
Yeah.
But we have to control that a little better than others can. And that's tough to do, but we also lean on each other a lot on those bad days. During the commercial, we'll check in. Are you okay? Are we okay? Are we going to be okay? And we kind of talk each other through it. But also, you just have to kind of put it away. You have to compartmentalize in our business because we deal with so much sadness, so much tragedy. Just last week with 9/11, Charlie Kirk, a lot of things going on that are really upsetting for our community. And, you have to compartmentalize. When I get home, I'm mom. When I get home, it's time to turn on mom and to start that role in my life and to put away the news as much as I can. Obviously, I have to know what's going on, so I do check in on what's happening. But I try to really focus on my kids and the wonderful things that they bring to my life, and it really uplifts me when I get home because I have them. And they're such a breath of fresh air. They're so amazing, and I'm just grateful to have them to come home to.
That's a great way to cope. I think about that as well. Think about sort of what I'm thankful for. Think about the things I can control.
Yes.
Which is my life, my family, what I'm thinking about.
And all the wonderful things going on in life. Because we talk about that. Justin and I are so, determined to bring the joy on the morning news as well. So we do good news. We do the morning brew. We try to make you laugh. We try to have fun with you, because we know it's heavy. We know things are heavy right now, and we want you to feel that uplifting feeling that it's not the end of the world. We're going to get through this together.
I'm glad you brought up the good news. That's one of those things. Mr. Rogers talked about that. Fred Rogers, now passed, R.I.P. Wonderful guy. He really was that character on TV.
Look for the helpers.
Yes. That's what I was going to bring up.
Yes.
He's like, in tragedies like that, especially mass casualty tragedies, it's just so awful, so devastating. But he's like, look for the helpers. Look for the people out there who are helping right there or in other areas, and focus on that. The people who are doing good, the people who are trying to get everybody through this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, those are the people to focus on and think about. And in the end, and I think I see it through your Seven's Hero and your good news, that is still the majority of people in this community.
That is our foundation.
Yeah.
Everything else that's going on is noise. And it's also a lot of tragedy, a lot of crisis. But if you think about it, the news brings you the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
Right? That is our job. We have to do it. People say to us, why are you covering this? Well, it's news.
Yeah.
We bring you the news, but we also want to bring you the joy. And the good thing about having a 4-hour show, because Justin and I do anchor a 4-hour show every day, is that we can bring you that good stuff. We can pepper in that joy. We can pepper in the goodness that you need to hear. In a half-hour show, we can't really do that. But in a 4-hour show, you betcha.
There's plenty of time for that. Plenty of time for a lot of stuff as well. Maggie, well said. Thank you. And as we're talking about mental health, it's critically important, obviously, for us, for students. And coming up next on This Just In, Maggie going to introduce you to a woman spreading hope for students as a Seven's hero. That's after this. Welcome back to This Just In with this ray of sunshine and hope. Maggie O'Mara.
You're too kind.
It's very much needed now. It is National Suicide Prevention Month. Your latest 7-0, really spreading hope through Bronco Bold. What do we need to know before we see your piece on this?
Well, this is an initiative at Boise State where one woman who works there in the athletic department, she actually is a former student athlete herself.
Nice.
She realized that she had some mental health problems and issues when she was a student athlete, and she wanted to, just get rid of the stigma, open the conversation, and start talking about it. And I mean, we've seen it over the last 5-10 years. It's really changed. When we were in college, there wasn't a lot of talk about mental health.
No.
When we were starting out our careers, there was no such thing as a mental health day. You better get to work.
Yes.
Yeah, there wasn't time to reflect on your own mental health.
Right.
But now our young people are getting those opportunities. So we should watch this story, Our Seventh Hero, to find out how they're doing it.
Roll it.
These students are using chalk to spread love and positivity in honor of Suicide Prevention Month.
The Boise School District is joining us in our Chalk the Walk this year for Bronco Bold. So we're here at City Hall chalking. We're at all the elementary schools and the junior highs and the high schools.
Boise State athletes like star quarterback Maddox Madsen are joining them. It's all part of Bronco Bold, a student-athlete-led mental health initiative on campus, launched in 2019 to offer mental health resources and organize awareness events. But it's not just for college kids. The High School Ambassador Program extends its impact to local high schools, even elementary schools. Boise State's Stephanie Donaldson makes it all happen.
We have 16 high schools from around southern Idaho, spreading the important message of mental health and kicking off Suicide Prevention Week in our schools and in our community.
And help us make a difference.
For Stephanie, starting young is key, and this is what outreach is all about.
It means so much to me personally and professionally, but I, as a former student athlete myself in college, I really struggled with mental health, and I didn't have anyone at the time to talk to, and I didn't no one was even talking about mental health in the high schools or anywhere in the media, in professional sports, and so it's been amazing to just see this as a movement that's grown.
And the Broncos are excited to team up with ambassador schools and community partners.
The Boise high schools in the Ambassador Program had the chance to spread their positive message at the Boise State game against Eastern Washington. Throughout the game, players, coaches, and staff wore green ribbon patches and Mental Health Matters attire. Every Bronco football helmet featured a green ribbon sticker.
The students and administrators.
They even made an appearance on the blue. And throughout the year, each of these 16 schools will host their own bold games for mental health awareness.
To hear people talk about suicide prevention and to talk about mental health, it's deeply moving to me, and it's just been incredible to watch the community just join in and lock arms and come together for such an important cause.
Stephanie is determined to let people of all ages know that mental health matters.
Just everywhere to spread the message of hope and healing.
The Bronco Bold initiative is truly making a difference, one student at a time.
There is help and there's hope. You can fully recover and lead a meaningful and purposeful life.
7-0.
Stephanie Donaldson, clearly very passionate and focused on helping students with their mental health. Why do you think that's so important to her?
I think because she experienced it herself,
Right.
that she realizes the gap and the problem that was there, and the fact that there was not the conversations happening that we need to be having. And so a few years ago, she implemented this. Now, not only is it at the college level, it's in our high schools, it's in our elementary schools.
Yeah.
The student athletes are helping to lead it, which makes it even more popular because, of course, the kids want to meet the student athletes.
Yeah.
So it's really just a win-win all around for September being Suicide Prevention Month.
Yeah, and you said elementary schools. That might surprise a lot of people. It's like,
Well,
elementary schools don't battle that. They don't deal with that. It's like, yeah, it is.
Mental health
it is a different time.
is an important issue at
Yeah,
every age. And young children may act out. It could be because they're suffering with some mental health situations that they need to address. So, and also we just want our kids to have those positive role models. We want them to have
Yes.
those positive interactions and to feel that hope and to feel, chalking with Maddox Madsen at your
Yeah,
school.
that's awesome.
How cool is that? So yes, it's wonderful. And really, it opens up those important conversations. It releases the stigma. It doesn't make it something weird to talk about anymore. Our kids, when they grow up, are just going to know mental health is important and that they should
Yeah.
be really focusing on that as well as their physical health
Right.
and everything else, right? It's not just staying healthy at the doctor physically, but staying healthy up here.
Yeah, just another element of that healthcare. And I think it might surprise a lot of people that these student athletes, even ones like at the top of their game, at the top of their sport, could struggle with mental health.
Well, think
like
of the
this.
pressure they're under.
Yeah.
Week in and week out. How many times do you see people criticizing our Boise State football players when these are college kids
Yeah,
out there on the
20
field?
years old, 20 years
20
old.
years old. And how consistent are we every day at our job? We all
Not
make
as
mistakes.
consistent, yeah.
You make mistakes at
Yeah.
home. We all have bad days, right? So they're under immense pressure to perform on that field or on the court or wherever they are at Boise State. They're under incredible pressure. And so they definitely feel that.
Yeah, still, these are tough topics to get high school and college students to open up about. Again, like both you and I have teens. It is
Yes.
tough to start a conversation with them. Why and how do you think Bronco Bold is able to do that, able to connect with these kids?
Well, like I said, because of the athletes.
Yeah.
The athletes are a pull, right?
Yeah.
They're a draw. Everybody wants to be around the athletes and wants to learn about them and meet them and maybe get their autograph. But our kids, they just want to be a part of something. They want to feel a part of something. And this is a wonderful initiative to be a part of, right? It's all about positivity. It's all about lifting each other up. And you really can't go wrong with it. So 16 high schools are a part of this right now.
That's huge.
They're going to have their own games or athletic events this year at their home fields.
Wow.
Promoting Bronco Bold. You also saw there were helmets at the Boise State game against Eastern Washington. All of our
ribbon.
athletes had that green, mental health awareness ribbon on their helmets. And even Coach Spencer Danielson had a patch
had the
on his
patch.
shirt.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be a part of this. Everyone wants to be Bronco Bold, get out there, talk about it, spread awareness, and spread that hope.
Yeah, I think you really hit on it as well, that everybody wants to be a part of something. And I think that being isolated or feeling isolated can really damage one's mental health. You look at the pandemic and that stay-at-home order, that really affected people for a really long time. And
People are still coming out of that.
Yeah, and it was because of that feeling of isolation that they can't connect to other people. I'm just talking now, but it seems like that's really critical to just human beings, like to be part of that community, to feel part of that community. And if people don't know, like you're part of our community. We love having you. We don't want you to go anywhere. You're a huge part of it. And I think for people to feel that and for kids to feel that through Bronco Bold.
Mental health matters. Mental health matters. It is key. It is critical to us being successful as people.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've heard of that organization, Connection is the Cure. That's another nonprofit locally that really focuses on suicide prevention, awareness, mental health. Connection is the cure.
Yeah.
The more we are connected to each other, to our families, to our friends,
Yeah.
to our neighbors, to people we just run into at the grocery store,
Yeah.
say a hello, be friendly, reach out to people. You don't know what people are going through. It's so important to check in on them, especially this month and every month, because suicide prevention is so important.
Yeah. And can people, maybe school leaders, if they're not
Yes.
involved in Bronco Bold, they can reach out to them?
They can reach out to Stephanie Donaldson. She'll lead them in the right direction.
Nice.
Just Google Bronco Bold. You'll get a connecting phone number,
Yeah.
email, one of those
Figure it
things,
out.
and
Yeah.
you can reach out.
That's awesome. And again, remember, if you or someone you know is experiencing suicidal thoughts, maybe a mental health crisis, just please dial 988, just 988, just 3 numbers for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Again, it can really help to just talk to someone and feel that connection.
And
if
don't
you're
be
missing
scared
that.
to make that call.
Yeah.
You don't have to be suicidal at that moment to make
Yeah,
that call.
yeah.
Maybe you're just feeling down.
Yeah.
Maybe you need someone to talk to. That's what they are there for. 988. Absolutely free. They're waiting for you. They're loving. They're caring. They want to help.
And they can connect you with maybe local resources as well, a counselor, something like that.
Absolutely.
That you can talk to regularly. Maggie, again, thank you for being Idaho's mom. Next on This Just In, it's important in the middle of all the terrible and stressful things happening that we try to laugh a little,
Yes.
like laughing along with our good friend, Spuddy Buddy. That's next. Welcome back to This Just In with Maggie O'Mara, huge fan of Spuddy Buddy.
I am. I'm a proud Spuddy Buddy fan.
Spuddy Buddy Stan almost as well. So you can imagine Maggie's excitement this morning as we're recording this. Spuddy Buddy swung by Wake Up Idaho to talk, quote unquote, about potato days and also kind of do the weather. Take a look.
Listen, we couldn't let Spuddy Buddy go because we needed him to help us out with the forecast. So, hey, Spuddy, I have a question for you. We're looking here at the temperatures. We got lots of sunshine and that type of stuff here for today and warm temperatures. What do you think? Good, bad, no? Just kind of on the fence? All right, let's see if I could up myself up a little bit better here. These are the next 5 days. I know we've got potato days coming up, and I know it's for this week. And what do you think of those temperatures there? I think it's looking pretty good. I think Spuddy's excited. We've got warm temperatures coming along here for the next couple of days. So let's take a look at the 7-day forecast. What do you think of the 7-day? Well, there we go. I think I'm getting a good reception here. I think this is awesome. I think I've done a good job, right, Spuddy? All right, I've done a great job, and I think everyone else is excited about it because we got fall coming along here as we get on into Monday, so we're all excited. So, Spuddy, I'm gonna have you come walk with me. We're gonna walk over to the desk and join everybody else and see what else we can expect that we can do as we're hoping that everybody makes it to the desk and we're getting on over here. I think we've made it, and I think we've done a pretty good job here.
Squeeze in, Spuddy, buddy. We need you on set.
I think Spuddy did great doing weather with me. It was awesome.
Oh my gosh, that was so fun.
What a day. I've had so many great celebrities come and do weather with me.
I know you have. You had Spencer Danielson.
And now Spuddy.
Spuddy, buddy. He was a little nervous.
I was, because huge deal around here, and I was like, I don't know if I can top it up. And there you go, nice pat on the head. I think I did a good job. I think I'm doing good.
Don't forget to check out Potato Days at Kleiner Park this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's going to be a whole lot of fun.
So if you couldn't tell from that, Maggie is a massive fan.
I am. I love Spuddy Buddy.
Why do you think it is?
Well, first, I love potatoes. Who doesn't, right? Carbo load.
Yes.
Second.
Yes.
Spuddy Buddy is so soft, so cuddly. I don't know if you saw that at the end of the show today. Yeah. Spuddy Buddy gave me a big hug and a kiss.
Yeah, we might have.
There's
part of that hug as well.
Oh my gosh. Spuddy Buddy is like a big plushie and just so sweet, and at every event and always bringing the joy. And I just love people that do that. So, I mean, is he a person in it? I don't know, but whatever he is, I love Spuddy Buddy.
Whatever they are. Yeah, if you come across a normal, quote-unquote, potato and they're that soft, don't eat it.
Well, I actually
also,
feel guilty.
Don't eat Spuddy Buddy.
I had a baked potato yesterday, I told you. And I felt kind of guilty today because I was like, how dare I have a potato when Spuddy Buddy is near the building?
When you were talking about Spuddy Buddy coming in this morning, yesterday, I'm like, Maggie's maybe a little overly excited. But then I figured it out. I understand now.
Now it's contagious.
Just bringing like a party vibe.
Yeah, he loves
to the
Spuddy Buddy
studio.
too.
Yeah, Maggie O'Mara really sort of the Spuddy Buddy of our newsroom normally, but Spuddy Buddy when both of you together, I mean, it's an energy.
And how
that can't be
cute was
matched.
he with Hector doing the weather? I mean, that was adorable. And Hector was like nervous. We've had Spencer Danielson do the weather with Hector.
Yes.
And he said he was just as nervous as when Spencer Danielson came on.
He kept looking for that affirmation.
Yeah.
That it's like, am I doing okay? What do you think of this? And Spuddy Buddy was just like, I don't know.
Spuddy can't talk.
There's that as well.
Spuddy just points and jumps.
So we were like, Spuddy Buddy, can you do the weather? It's like
he points, jumps, spins, but his arms are kind of short, so he couldn't point.
He couldn't really point
to the weather graphics
because
he's like stuck, kind of like T-Rex arms, right?
Yeah.
He was like, oh, this over,
potato
oh
arms.
here, oh.
Am I right? That is a great Spuddy Buddy impression. If they're ever short of Spuddy Buddy, they need a Spuddy Buddy double.
Hey, maybe that's my next job.
You got enough to do right now. You don't need a next job. We need you right here.
I have enough.
Maggie O'Mara, as always, really a pleasure. Thank you for joining us.
So fun to be here. I love all your viewers, and I love coming on This Just In.
This Just In. If you got comments or questions, compliments for Maggie, or other suggestions for other celebrities besides Spuddy Buddy, we can't get bigger than that.
I know. We've hit our pinnacle. That's the pinnacle.
It's all downhill from here. Text us at 208-321-5614, hashtag Justin. See you next time on KTVB+.
Bye, everyone.